Hey guys, how's it going? Today is the last video of the E30, E36, E46, Z4, Z3 rack swap guide for power steering and no power steering. We are going to be going over the stock E30 rack, which should have started off as the first video, but edited the wrong video, so we're going to conclude the series with the E30 rack. The infamous 4 turns lock to lock. No one prefers and everyone swaps out stock rack. If you haven't seen any of the other videos, I will go ahead and link the playlist below, and if I can, in the top right corner of this video. I have a video going over each rack without driving, and then I have a driving video for each one of those racks with and without power steering. Let's quickly go over the car. 87 325 IS, new motor, new suspension, new bushings. It's on a 195 tire, so pretty small. Now, like the rest of the other videos, quick disclaimer, product talk, and then we'll get to driving.
Start with this big disclaimer that a majority of this is opinionated, and the only factual part of it will be the lock-to-lock ratio. The rest of it is fully opinionated and is me giving an opinion on the rack, being able to drive them all back to back to back to back. Everyone is going to feel out these racks differently, and everyone's car setup is going to affect how the racks feel. Because I'm driving them back to back to back on the same setup, I feel like I can give a better representation of the racks for everyone so that you have an idea what you're buying or how the rack feels before you buy it. Everyone focuses on the lock-to-lock ratios, but forgets that, each rack does feel different and does drive differently. You should be focused on how you want your car to drive, and if that rack fits in your driving style, then that's the way to do it. But I would not be choosing a rack like most forums say just because of the lock-to-lock ratio, because you might not like how that rack feels when you're actually driving it, whether in the canyons, on the freeway, or on the track. This is the LPSR Lucas Power Steering Racks E30 conversion linkage for your E30 rack, your E36 rack, your Z3 rack, and your E46 rack swap. This is their non-airbag version, so it's fine spline and fine spline. They also have a airbag version, which is fine spline and coarse spline. If you're not sure if you have a fine spline or coarse spline E30 steering column, here are the differences right here. So you can see this is a non-airbag column, which is fine spline. This is an airbag column. It's coarse spline. You will need to chop this extra knob off right here for the linkage to fit properly for your airbag car. Just again, chop that off. Non-airbag, super easy. You can also do if you want to replace your airbag column with your non-airbag column, you can. It is plug and play, bolt in. There's no modification needed. All you need to do is remove your airbag column and install a non-airbag column. And also E36 linkage and E46 linkage. Everything is now available, RITparts.com. We also have a ton of racks in stock, E30, E36 M3, so your 95 and your 96 plus racks. We have E46 yellow and purple, Z3 and Z4 racks. These are all OEM rebuilt racks by J&J Axle Supply. No aftermarket racks here. So you can go ahead and check them out, RITparts.com. Now back to the video. E30 stock rack with power steering. I can't roll the windows up, unfortunately, so we're just going to do our best with audio. If I have to do a voiceover, then I'll do a voiceover, but the stock E30 rack with power steering is nothing fantastic. It's lazy. On turn-ins, there's not a ton of feel. it's just, these are small tires too, so it's going to be easy no matter what. But you really, there's not a ton of feeling to it. Now on gravel, there's just so much in this. E30 rack, no power steering. Obviously when you're standing still, it's a lot harder to go back and forth with it. But once you start driving, it's actually, it feels good for what it is, especially it still being a 4-turn lock-to-lock rack. But it's definitely a lot more direct feeling when you're driving compared to with power steering. You can at least feel the road. And at least feel the turn a lot more than with power steering, just more direct. But there's just so much room, like you really have to turn into it.
Some final conclusions on the stock E30 rack. My opinion, not great, and and that's most people's, I think, opinion with it, and why everyone swaps to E36, E46, Z3 racks, just because they want a little bit more something out of the steering. I do think it is better without power steering than with power steering, to get a little bit more feel out of it. But you can't go wrong with doing a rack upgrade and making your driving experience so much more enjoyable compared to the stock E30 rack. That concludes the rack swap series for power steering and non-power steering. The next video that will be up later this week will be a install video, so stay tuned for that.
Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments below and I will reply. If you're looking to upgrade your steering rack, don't forget to check out RITparts.com, or you can hit me up on Instagram at @themassdriver or at RIT Parts. And if you're looking to upgrade your rack, don't forget to check out some of those LPSR steering rack linkages for your E30, E36, and E46 chassis.
Thanks for watching. Have a great day.